Windows of Opportunity, a Kate Denson perk that is the most popular perk for survivors. But why is this? Hey guys, I'm Fox, and today I want to hit what may be seen as a controversial topic. Is Windows of Opportunity too good? In its current iteration, Windows of Opportunity shows the aura of all pallets, windows, and breakable walls within a 32 meter range at tier 3. A very simple and effective perk. It's fantastic for newer players who may not know the map layouts. This itself is great. You don't want new players getting destroyed by killers every match then quitting. But there's also a problem with that in itself. You can only get Windows of Opportunity from either Kate Denson herself, or to get lucky with it appearing in the Shrine of Secrets. So to even get this beginner perk, you have to either spend money, which a new player just won't do, or play long enough to either get Kate Denson, or be lucky enough to buy it from the Shrine. So this is my first argument against it being a new player perk. New players just outright will not have access to it. Now that I have this out of the way, let me get to why I believe Windows of Opportunity is doing too much. It isn't being used by new players. It's used by most players, and the perk itself immediately makes a survivor better in a chase, with little effort. They're essentially boosting themselves, and this becomes evident when you run blindness as a killer. I say this as someone who runs the perk exclusively. I'm not that amazing at survivor, but this perk alone lets me run a killer for 2 to 4 gens on a good chase, just by following the auras. I don't even need to try and make as much use out of a pallet as possible. The perk does the chase for me. Windows of Opportunity is removing the need for survivors to actually need to think during a chase, and I personally think this is an issue. Now I won't say Windows doesn't have counterplay, because it does. Blindness is a status effect that every killer has the ability to inflict on a survivor, rendering their aura reading perks unusable. 2 of the most notable ways to do this are Hex the Third Seal and Ultimate Weapon. Hex the Third Seal will inflict blindness on a survivor that is hit with a basic or special attack until the Hex totem is destroyed. This will either force the survivors to play without aura reads, which is detrimental in more ways than just aura reading perks, as they can no longer see down survivors or hook survivor auras, or, and the most likely outcome, they'll try and find and break the totem. Ultimate Weapon. As of the patch of this recording, Ultimate Weapon, when a killer opens a locker, for 15 seconds afterwards, will inflict blindness on the survivor for 30 seconds if they are hit within the killer's terror radius. This also lets you see the aura of any survivor within your terror radius for that duration. Many killers also have add-ons that inflict blindness on survivors, so there is definitely counterplay to Windows of Opportunity. There is, however, no way to even know if the survivor has it, unless you have already blinded them and they suddenly become very bad in a chase. Here's the issue. If blinding a survivor makes most of them suddenly bad in a chase, is Windows of Opportunity a learning perk or a crutch? Are survivors, myself included, becoming reliant on this perk's existence to even be able to run the killer? If what separates a good survivor from an average one is a single perk, isn't the perk itself an issue? On the other hand, I don't really believe it should be nerfed either, but made more accessible for new players and to change the perk's effect slightly. If you didn't know, when Kate was released, Windows of Opportunity only works until you dropped a pallet or vaulted a pallet or a window. It would then go on cooldown. This iteration isn't really that helpful either, so just reverting it isn't the right call. Over the past few weeks, I've had some pretty great ideas come my way. The first one is that, when entering a chase, Windows of Opportunity activates. For 30, 40, 50 seconds, depending on the tiers, reveal the aura of all pallets and windows to you within a 30 meter range. Windows of Opportunity then goes on cooldown for 80, 70, 60 seconds. I like this idea, because it is now an actual chase perk. It still does what it does now, and gives survivors enough information that they can know what is a safe area, without it just being on at all times. 50 seconds is still a long time for a chase. Generators only take 80 seconds. If you're already in a good position when a chase starts, you can use all the resources around you, or at least know what's there. Or, if you're in a bad position, you can be injured and then immediately know where to go to. It's a decent baseline, but I see the issues here. This will make Windows of Opportunity less effective against stealth killers or anything that can make the killer undetectable. Another version I heard was, Windows of Opportunity works like it does now, but it has a token system, much like Distortion. Windows of Opportunity can have 3, 4, or 5 tokens. The tokens are used when performing any rushed actions in a chase. Each token is regained for every 20 seconds outside of a chase, or entirely if you're hooked, much like an exhaustion does now. With this, Windows is always on to scout the surrounding areas when outside of a chase, but it isn't omnipresent. The survivors still have to learn the map, but Windows of Opportunity is still helping them do that. It also still functions to know which pallets have been used around you. But neither of these solve the issue entirely. As mentioned before, people like to use the excuse that Windows of Opportunity is great for starting players, but as I've said, this can't be the case because Windows of Opportunity is an extra purchase. So how do we fix this? Make the original iteration of Windows of Opportunity base kit. Now hear me out. This would help the awareness and learning of how palettes in Windows spawn, without players having to buy more than just the base game. If players have a bad time with the base game, or a free weekend, they'll be much less likely to invest further. We can also change Windows of Opportunity the perk to enhance the base kit, put it on a token system so the perk just isn't playing the game for you. This will be much like how Borrowed Time works today. I don't want to see this perk gutted. I love using it myself. It's just that the perk as it is right now is making bad survivors quote unquote good without them ever actually learning the necessary skills to become good. So I ask once again, is Windows of Opportunity too good? Is it a crutch? Is it fine the way it is? Am I talking out of my tail end? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear other people's opinions on it. Well, that's all for me for now. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this, please do leave a like. It'll mean the world to me. And if you'd like to stay tuned for more discussions or gameplays, subscribe to stay updated on more of my terrible takes. Until next time, take care of each other and be safe. Goodbye for now.